What are the best side hustles for mums? Now, everybody talks on social media about do this side hustle or open Canva, make a template and make X amount of money in a month or whatever it may be. And it's like, is that really real? Like, can people actually do that? And you know what? If you're a single person with no responsibilities, you go to work, you come home and that's it, and you don't have kids to look after or anything else, then that's probably going to work for you. But as a mum, that doesn't, because my 24 hours is very different to that person who goes to work, comes home, cleans their house, and then sits at home or speaks to their friends or whatever it is that they do. They have that extra time. If you are a mum, and especially if you're a single mum, you get called every 30 seconds. Mum, watch this. Mum, can I have that? Mum, mum, mum. That's all my evenings ever are. Please let me know if your evenings are exactly the same. And if we're not being called by our kids, our adorable, lovely, beautiful children, we're cleaning or cooking or getting the school uniform ready, or we're doing something that needs to be done. So our 24 hours is very different to somebody that is completely single and no responsibilities just yet. And in today's video, now that I've had my little Rachel rant, I want to talk about different side hustles that mums can actually do in their spare time, or if they've got a little bit longer, and make a little bit of extra income, or completely have a full-time income with their side hustle if they wanted to and if they could put the work in. If you don't know me, my name is Rachel. I'm a solo mum to one, and on this channel I talk everything frugal living, budgeting, mum life and everything in between. And I like to help you try and save money and make money as a parent. So if you like that kind of thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the one that I do, and that is dog sitting and dog boarding. Now that has to change a little bit. There's some things going on. Don't worry, a video will be made in the future explaining everything that's been happening, but that has to kind of change a little bit, but I'm still going to be doing it. There's some logistic work that needs sorting out with that one, but I go through an app called Rover and I do dog sitting, doggy daycare and drop-in dog visits, but you can also do dog walking. If you haven't seen my recent video on how much I made on Rover, I will link it in the cards above and in the description box below, so go and check that out and it'll explain it more in detail. Now last year I made just under £5,000 for the year just by looking after dogs. So if you are an animal lover and you love dogs and you've got the time to do it, then maybe that is an option for you for the future. Or maybe you want your own dog, but maybe you just can't afford to have a dog yet. Like that was my situation. So I decided to board dogs and get paid to have them instead. So go and watch the video and it explains a little bit more. But dog boarding, dog sitting, even cats, if you're a cat person, I'm not a cat person. I like them, but I'm not a cat person. Then you can try that side hustle and make a little bit of extra money. So the next one is on my list to do, but I haven't quite got round to it yet. So if you've done this one, do let me know in the comment box below whether or not it's worth it. And that is being a mystery shopper. So you go into lots of different stores. There's lots of apps and it tells you what stores are available to go and do this job. And you go in and you're basically doing little tasks, whether it's asking a member of staff where something is, or you've got to take some photos of the display of something, and then you upload it into the app and then they give you some money for it. I don't think it's a lot, but if you do it on your regular shopping, or if you're going into town, you can have a look and see what's available. You could just make a little bit of extra money just when you're doing your regular shop. So even if you're only making an extra £10-20 a month, that's going to be going towards maybe a family takeaway or a family trip to the cinema if there's two of you because it's so expensive. But it could go towards something, or just saving up for an emergency fund. So if you haven't done mystery shopping and you're planning on doing it, or you've done it before, then do let me know in the comments. And when I get round to doing it, I will let you know how that went. The next one is affiliate marketing, where you're paid commission to sell someone else's product. So the consumer doesn't actually pay anything extra than the actual product itself, but you do get a certain amount of commission. Now, this could be really small, like a 2% commission, but with some things you can get up to a 50% commission for advertising and selling through a specific link that you have. Now, I am an Amazon associate, so I have my Amazon links, and I also have Temu links as well. I need to use it more. I don't use it enough, so I need to use it more. I think I'm going to add some more into my blog posts, and then I'm going to market that on here or on Pinterest. So that is something that I want to look more into. I have dabbled in it, but I haven't really put my energy into it. But you can make money doing that way. You see it everywhere. It's not something that you can make money out of overnight. It takes a little bit of time. It means you've got to be consistent, making consistent content, constantly talking about the links and that they're in the link in the description, or you can find a link in my bio or wherever it might be. But it can make you quite a lot of money if you're willing to put the work in first. So affiliate marketing is a great business to have. It can bring you in a lot of money. It can be a slow burner, and it does take a lot of work to get started. Once you've got the ball rolling, it can move quite quickly, but just getting started can be a little bit of a slow burner for some people, depending how consistent you are. The next one would be being a virtual assistant. Now, a virtual assistant can do a range of different things and can work for several different companies. And once you've got the experience and the knowledge, then you can easily charge as a minimum like £100 a month. So if you have 5 clients and you're doing their admin work for them, behind the scenes work, that's easy £500 a month. And then as you gain more experience, you can obviously up your prices a little bit more. So a virtual assistant is basically doing all the back end stuff of a business so that the business person of the company can focus on the things that they actually are good at and they want to do to actually grow the business. So your job would be handling any kind of social media, which we'll go into next, creating content for them, blog posts, writing, copywriting, or admin work, making appointments, or doing anything like that. It doesn't have to be all of it. You can narrow down to one specific thing. So if you're really good at admin work or data, making appointments, you can focus on that. Or maybe if you're good at writing and creating blog posts or doing social media, maybe you can focus more on that. So it's completely up to you which avenue you would go down. You don't have to have any specific time that you do this stuff. You can do it in your spare time. Once the kids have gone to bed, you get up early and do the work. As long as the work's done by a specific date that your client wants it done by, then you can do it in the little nuggets that you have in your spare time throughout the day. It can bring in quite a lot of money. There are a few people that I know that actually earn a full-time wage by sitting at home, having Netflix on and just watch it and just doing their job, and it's fantastic. And then they only do a few hours a day, they just work 2 or 3 days solid a week, and then the rest of the week they're going off doing their own thing. But they had to build it from scratch. And again, it's consistency and experience. Once you get that experience and you get those testimonials, then things will start flying. But everything that I talk about always starts slow and it builds as time goes on. But if you like sitting there doing admin work and getting involved in people's businesses without actually being the business person, then a virtual assistant might actually be really good for you. And which leads me nicely onto the next one, which is social media manager. So if you know somebody that has got a company and they need to use social media, but they don't like social media, especially if they're a little bit older, maybe they don't like using social media, you could go in and you could work on their social media content. You could write their content, or you could be a manager where people are putting posts up, you're going through the comments, replying to all the comments, taking out all the spam ones, taking out anything that's becoming a little bit aggressive or not nice or going against the rules of the Facebook group or Instagram or whatever it may be, or the guidelines, and you're just removing all of that. You're replying to people as an impartial person. Now, social media manager is actually one of my next side hustles that I'm doing. I'm actually learning at the moment all about social media management. I've got a few clients already lined up. I'm doing my work for free for the first month and to see how I get on, because I need the experience, and I'm asking for a testimonial at the end of that month, and then I'm going to keep moving forward with it so that I can actually become a social media manager, and my YouTube and the dogs and everything else that I do as well. So I'm already in a digital marketing space, but I just wanted to kind of niche down into social media management. So I will let you know how that goes. The next one is digital products. You can create your own digital products, and everyone goes, yeah, what does that mean? I don't know what that is. It can literally be anything. So it can be creating invitations for birthdays, weddings, baby showers, bachelorette parties, anything like that. You could be making planners, so cleaning checklists, a school checklist, ADHD checklist. You could make checklists, or you can actually make journals where people can buy a journal from you. They can do it digitally, so they can actually just print off all the sheets, or you can go through Amazon KDP. You would create it and upload it onto Amazon. Amazon actually prints out and makes the product, and then they take a percentage of your earnings and they ship everything off for you. So you can do that if you want to, or you can just create sheets in Canva and then upload it onto places like Etsy, or you can start your own sites with System.io, Gumroad, or Beacons. So again, I'm going through all of this in a later video because I am actually creating my own digital products right now, and I'm trying all 3 systems, Gumroad, Etsy, System.io, and Beacon. So 4 systems to see which one's actually more beneficial to me. You can also use a company called Sandstore, where you can upload your products and you can market it on social media or on Pinterest if you wanted to, and therefore you keep a little bit more of the money, because on places like Etsy, they do take quite a lot of percentage of the things that you sell. Whereas if you've got somewhere like Gumroad, System.io, or Beacons, then you only pay a transaction fee. You're not paying a hosting fee, and then you get to keep a lot of that money. Now, if I'm wrong on that, please let me know in the comments, but that is my understanding at this point. So I will keep you updated on my social media manager, and I will keep you updated on my digital products and let you know how they go once I start getting that ball rolling. But again, everything takes time and you have to be consistent. So the last one of my own that I'm interested in doing, I still do now, as you can tell because you are watching me, is YouTube. Now, YouTube is a bit of a slow growth. You don't make millions overnight. Sometimes you can get that one viral hit, which will make you fly, and then you're really lucky and you just got that one hit. But then it's the pressure of keeping that going. Or it can be a nice slow burn and you can slowly build it as you go. So kind of like the tortoise and the hare type of thing. Now, I've been going for a couple of years now. It's been a nice slow growth. I do make money out of it. I am monetized right now. I just make money out of ad revenue. But I do want to create some digital products that I can sell via the YouTube channel, which I'm hoping to do in the next few months. So there is money in YouTube, and you can start making money straight away without even having to be monetized, which is 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. But you can make money before that by affiliate marketing, by selling your own digital products. So there are ways of making money on YouTube without having to be monetized. And if you want me to make a video on that, then do let me know in the comment box below. Let's move on to a few more then. I'm going to quickly go through these. So some of these I do, some of them I'm not really interested in because it's not for me. So as I said at the beginning, some of these side hustles are going to be something that you would love to do that's really interesting. And some of them would be like, no, that's not for me. I don't want to do that. You might not want to be a dog sitter or a dog boarder, but you might like doing something else. And that's why I wanted to give you lots of different ideas that you can do to take on board to hopefully find a side hustle that works for you and your lifestyle. So the next one is to be a freelance writer. So if you love writing and you're really good at writing and it's like a hobby for you and you enjoy doing it, but you find you've got nothing really to write about, then you can become a freelance writer. You can start this by yourself and you can make your own blog and write your own blog posts, or you can actually write blog posts for someone else. So somebody will give you an outline of a blog post and then you just write the blog post for them. You can also write emails for people, especially if they're in email marketing, and you can write websites as well, and you can start doing all like the about pages and writing things for their website. If you enjoy writing, becoming a freelance writer might benefit you, and because you can do that in your spare time. You can write notes on your phone while you're waiting to pick the kids up from school, or when the kids are gone to bed, or if you get up early before the kids, then you can spend half an hour to 45 minutes just writing something for a local business. So if you love doing that one, that would really work for you. I don't really like writing that much, so it's not one for me, but let me know if it's one for you. The next one is to proofread and edit. So if you have an eye for like English grammar and spelling mistakes and making sure that everything sounds correctly, you could become a proofreader and an editor. So you would go through people's ebooks, through their blog posts, through their copy, through their emails, and you would just go through it and check that everything is like sounding good and it's got the correct grammar. And it would do the business that you're working for very, very well. So if maybe you're an ex-teacher and you stop to become a mum or a stay-at-home mum, this is something that would really work well for you, is proofreading and editing. You can just check through it, send it back off, do it in your own time, and you could get paid for it. So again, it's not me. I'm not really detail oriented like that. So that's not really one for me, but if it could be something that you could do. The next one is something that I do quite often, is sell on Vinted and on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. So you could firstly just go around your house and see what you no longer need. And if you've got kids, they're always growing. So there's always clothes somewhere that you could sell. There's always toys you could sell, old books, puzzles, anything like that. You can all sell it on Vinted, eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So you could do that. And once you've sold everything in your house that you no longer have, you can go to local charity shops. You can buy some for cheap there, and then you can sell it on for a profit, called reselling. So if that's something that you would be interested in doing, then you could do that. I don't resell other people's stuff. I've got so much stuff in the house and my child continues to grow out of things. So I just kind of get rid of anything that I have. If my mum has got stuff she was going to throw away and she's going to give to the charity shop, I'll go through it first to see anything I can sell. And then if I can't sell it, then I'll donate the rest to the charity shop. So I'm doing a little bit of good as well. But selling on Facebook, Marketplace, eBay, Vinted, Depop, all those kind of places. And you can even start a whole reselling business if you want. That's really good for mums when the kids are at school. You can make a little bit of a good profit with that. So the next one then will be print on demand. So this is where you create jumpers or hoodies or t-shirts or even mugs and bags and basically anything. You can make a slogan up, or you can make a quote up and you can put it on a t-shirt, and then you upload that onto places like Etsy, Redbubble and even Amazon. So you create the idea in Canva, you go through something called Printify or Gelato or some kind of print on demand company. You can connect that up to Amazon or Etsy or Redbubble, and then you can promote it on those sites. And once you've sold an item, that's when you actually pay for it. So you pay the fees for the t-shirt and the printing, and then whatever's left you take as profit for yourself. I had a look into it one time, I got bored and didn't bother, so it's not really for me. But if you are a creative person and you love creating different things, or you've got some ideas that would go really good in a t-shirt or a bag or a mug, especially like things like Mother's Day and Valentine's Day and Christmas and all that coming up in the next, Christmas is a while away, but over the next few months, then you could create something and then upload it via Printify or Gelato, or there's many other ones, and then add that onto Etsy or Amazon or Redbubble, and then you could start making a bit of a profit. I would look into it more if that's something you want to do. There's lots of YouTube videos online with print on demand for beginners, so go and have a check out if that's something that you'd be interested in. It's not really for me, it's not something that I really want to do. I looked into it, I got bored, not my kind of thing, but you might absolutely love it. Okay, the next one is to do online tutoring. So if you are good at English, or maybe you have been a teacher that you stopped to look after your children, you could do some online tutoring or one-to-one tutoring in person if you wanted to. You can even do tutoring in different countries as well online if you're willing to get up a little bit earlier, and there can be some good money in it too. I don't think in all of the sites that you have to be an actual teacher. You just need to be able to speak good English and be able to teach correctly, but you would need to do a little bit more of a deeper dive into those websites. It's not something I want to do. Again, these are ones that are not for me, but if you love teaching and you want to continue teaching, but you don't want to keep going into the school every day, then maybe you could look at doing a little bit of online tutoring as well. The next one is childminding or doing after school care. So if you are working in the day and then after school you've got nothing else to do, then maybe you could take some people from the school that your child goes to and take it back to your house and take care of them whilst their parents are still finishing off at work. Now there is after school club in the school, but maybe you could go a little bit cheaper, or maybe they would just prefer their child to be with their friends and you could look after them after school. Now you could just do this as a very friendly gesture, but if you want to run a business out of it, you could do it that way as well. If you are a stay-at-home mum, maybe you can do a little bit of childminding. Obviously you'd have to go through all the regulations and you'd have to contact your local council, so don't just start something, make sure you're going through all the proper channels first. But you could do a childminding in the day. You don't have to make it a big business. You could just have a few children in the daytime that you take care of that meets the regulations. But if you love kids and you want to have like children around the house and you don't mind looking after them, or doing an after school club at your own house, then maybe that's something that you could look into, but please check your regulations with your local council. Now this is a really good one, and I've never thought of this, and it's something that I might even look into, and then that is being a taxi for pets and children. So basically, as a mum, we're always being a mum's taxi to take our kids somewhere, aren't we? But during the day, if there's a little old lady that wants to get her dog to the groomer, but maybe she can't get him there, then maybe you could be a pet taxi where you go and pick up these pets, you take them to the groomer, and then you just take them back to the owner again. It's great for people that maybe have mobility problems, or let's say they're elderly and they can't get out of the house, and knowing that they've got someone that's safely going to take them to the groomer and drop them back off again, they might feel a little bit more comfortable to have that. So that is something I've not actually ever looked into, but that is something that would work in my lifestyle. So that is something that I will potentially look into in the very near future. Also, if you didn't want to do pets, or you don't want pets in your car, I've got dog seat covers in mine, so I'm fine. But if you didn't want to do that, you could do after school drop-offs. So say that you can fit 5 kids in your car, or maybe you've got a bigger car and you can fit more kids in, and then you pick all the kids up from school and then you go and drop them all off at everybody's houses, and then you get paid to do that. So if that's something that you would like to do, maybe you can advertise it in your local child's school that say you've got 7 spaces or 4 spaces or 5 spaces that you can pick their child up from school and you can bring them home again. Obviously make sure you've got all your DBS checks and you've got it all covered with the local council, that you're getting everything done officially. And also make sure that if you're doing that and you're starting the business, you're changing your car insurance over to business insurance as well. So making just sure that you are completely covering yourself. But if you like dogs and you don't mind doing after school runs, maybe that's something that you can do as an extra little side hustle. Okay, the next one is to do a cleaning or ironing service. So if you love cleaning, now some people that absolutely love to clean, it's like therapy to them. I don't know who those strange people are, but it's definitely not me. I hate ironing, I hate cleaning. I do it, but I hate it. It's boring and I just don't like it. So if you want to do a cleaning or ironing service, then you could do that, advertise in your local area on local Facebook community groups, and you can go to people's houses and give their house a good clean every single week, and then once a month do a big deep clean as well. Or you could go and pick up people's ironing if you don't mind doing the ironing, coming back to your house, putting the TV on, getting the ironing board up, and you could just do people's ironing, and then you could take it back to them as well. Or they could drop it off at your house, and then you do the ironing at your house, and then they just pick it back up when it's done. It's a very good business to start. It's a very popular business. So if that's something that you would like to have, something that you were thinking of doing while the kids are at school, then maybe you can look into that a little bit further. The next one is become a Canva template creator. So a lot of people like to have templates for their social media, or they like to have templates to sell on to other people, and then they have a template and then they make it their own once they buy it. But selling templates on Canva is a very popular thing. Again, it's something that bores me, but it is very popular and you can make a lot of money out of it. It's something that you would have to look a bit further into, but if you like creating things and you like attention to detail, then maybe have a look at becoming a Canva template creator. You can sell everything online, so you don't even have to go to a marketplace or try and sell it in public. You can create these things, put it on a shop somewhere like Etsy, Gumroad, Beacons, like I've mentioned before, market it on social media or through Pinterest, and then people will actually buy the templates for their business or a template for something that they want in their home. And it does sell well, it does work very, very well. It's not really something I want to do. Maybe that's something you could look into for yourself. Now, coming down to the final few, so the next one is becoming a Pinterest manager. Now, if you are like me and like most mums, we love Pinterest and we love creating our boards and we love getting all the aesthetic things and we love to dream and wish through Pinterest. If you absolutely love Pinterest and you know how to work Pinterest, you can become a Pinterest manager. Now, I love Pinterest and it's one of the things that I'm looking at doing in my social media manager. and that is to create pins using SEO, which is search engine optimization, to be able to get eyes on it a little bit better and to help businesses grow their business via Pinterest. Pinterest is a very, very powerful social media platform, and it's an evergreen thing. So where on the likes of TikTok and Instagram, where it's on there, but it's so busy, it goes again in 24 hours and you've got to continually put content out there. With Pinterest, once you put it up there, it's always there unless you delete it. And people will go in the search bar, and as long as it's search engine optimized, they will continually find that particular post, quote, product, whatever it is that you are doing. A lot of people don't utilize Pinterest enough, and if you could learn the ins and outs of Pinterest, you become a Pinterest manager, you can become very successful doing that career. It is one part of what I want to happen in my social media manager company that I'm setting up, but definitely look into Pinterest if you love it already and learn the ins and outs of it so that you can help other people. Something that I'm definitely going to be doing in the very near future. But if you are a mum that loves to pin boards and loves to pin pins all the time, definitely have a look a little bit more into Pinterest management. Okay, the final two that I've got is one is car boot flipping. Now, car boots are going to be starting up again in the next few weeks or months. I know some of them go through all winter, but the ones in my area only start from March to October. So they'll be starting again in a few months' time. So what you can do is go on Facebook Marketplace, find some very cheap items, then take it to a car boot and flip it for a bit more of a higher price. Now, you can do this on online, so on Vinted and eBay and Facebook, like we've mentioned before. But if you want to do it as a car boot as well, people love a car boot, they're always busy. You can do car boot flipping too. Now, I love looking around a car boot, and there will be plenty of videos of me going around car boots this year because there are some things happening in my life and I need some bargains. But I hate doing a car boot. I hate standing there. I get bored, I get agitated, but my mum loves it. So if you love doing a car boot, getting extra money, flipping stuff, then why don't you look into doing that a little bit more and make a little bit of extra money for yourself once or twice a week. And the final one is transcription work. So you could become a transcriber. So basically what this is, you're turning audio into text. So somebody's done a YouTube video or a podcast or something to do with audio, and now they need that audio turned into text for a blog post or for some other thing that they are doing. And your job would be to take that audio and then write it into text. And that is simple as that. And there's lots of different apps that you can do to make that a lot easier for you. So if that's something that you enjoy doing and becoming a transcriber, there's lots of roles out there. You can put yourself onto places like Fiverr and Upwork so people can find you. But that is something that you can do at home when the kids have gone to bed, or get up early like I've said before. If you're a single parent and the kids have gone to the other parent for the weekend, then you can spend some time just doing some transcribing work and you can make quite a bit of money out of it. So that is my side hustle ideas for mums that you could do around the kids, or when the kids are at school, or before and after they've gone to bed or they get up. Let me know if you have tried any of these side hustles. Let me also know if you are thinking of trying any and which ones speak out for you. And if you've tried any, what was your experience like? Because I do Rover and it's worked very well for me, doing the dog sitting and the dog boarding. But somebody else that I know who's also done it, it has not worked for them whatsoever. They did exactly the same as I did, but it just didn't work for them. And some things we are going to try and it doesn't work, and other things we're going to try and it flies. We're all different and we all have different talents and different skills. So maybe just try a few different things and see what works for you. Now, even though you're going to do these side hustles, if you make money, I'm not a financial advisor, but just to give a little bit of advice, make sure that you are declaring it with the proper channels, with the HMRC. If you're on benefits for any reason, make sure you're declaring it with them as well. If you're doing anything in your home, that you've got dogs or you've got anything like that, make sure that you've got your proper insurances up together as well. So I've got all my insurances that I need. I've got insurance through Rover, but I've also got my personal insurance as well. If you're doing anything else, make sure that if you need insurance, that you are getting the insurance as well. And also make sure that you are tracking all your money and keeping all your money up together. Now, what I do with my money is every time I do a job and I get paid, no matter what that job is, I take 20% out of it and I put it in a tax pot. So when I got to pay my taxes for the year, I've already got a set amount aside ready to pay that when I need to. So it's still my money, but I've just put it in a separate pot. So if I've made £150 from a dog for a few days, then I take 20% of that and I put it in a tax pot. So when I've got to pay my taxes for the year, I've already got something set aside for it. Finally, what I want to say about all the finances, even though you're going to be doing some side hustles and making a little bit of extra money, if you're not budgeting correctly, if you're not in control of your finances, then that is something that you should get in order first, so that this is just extra income to pay off any debt or to help with holidays or anything else, but you need to make sure that you're budgeting and you've got control of your finances as well. And if you want to watch those videos, I'll link both of them in the description box below, so you can go and see about taking control of your finances and an emergency and a sinking fund. Is all linked in a description box for you. So I know that was a long one and I know that I rambled a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you think this is helpful and it will help somebody else you know, don't forget to share it with them as well. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a good morning, good day, or good evening. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.